Y'all. Hey, welcome back to another episode, y'all. Y'all know what's so crazy about today's episode is how I came across it. I know you probably don't care, but I feel like I gotta say this, okay? Y'all, I believe in signs like God will put things in your path for a purpose and a reason, right? So, as I always do when I begin, to research many different, topics or whatnot, I end up seeing Taraja's face, right, on one of the websites that look on. And then out of the blue, I was on Yahoo. I was searching for something and I seen an Essence article that covered the Black and Missing Foundation. The co-founder was pretty much interviewed in this interview. I said interview in this article. And in the article, it was talking about what I discussed last episode about how Carly Russell has made it a little bit harder for Black people, people of color, to actually be taken seriously. And then in that article, it talks about some other young women that are missing and have been missing for over a decade. And I found it so not hilarious and like, oh, it's a laughable matter. I was laughing to myself, like, what are the odds that Tarasha Benjamin's name is in this freaking article? So immediately I say, yeah, I have to cover her on the Milk Carton series. 17-year-old Tarasha Benjamin went missing on June 26th of 2010 from her hometown Selma, Alabama. She is listed as 5'2", weighing around 125 pounds. Please take in mind this was 13 years ago. She would be around the age 31 as her birthday recently passed in September of this year. Now, her last known description of what she was wearing was a yellow turquoise and white striped shirt, blue shorts, a silver necklace, and possibly silver sandals. She is described as a Black woman, black hair, brown eyes. She has a tattoo on her upper right arm, which is of the nickname Pooh that many of her family and friends would call her. She also may wear contact lens as well because she does like to wear them in her photos from what I've seen, and her ears are pierced. And you know what's the most sad thing about this is that Taraja's mother, Regina Benjamin, knows this pain all too well because in 1996, her 3-year-old and 4-year-old daughters died in a house fire. And then in 2009, her husband, Taraja's father, Clyde Chandler, disappeared. His body was eventually found behind a steak pit in Selma, but what happened to him remains unclear. Um, and when I read that in one of the articles, that really was like, what in the heck? So this family is not, this is not unknown territory of someone, dying or things happening. And it's honestly pretty sad because nobody deserves so many, traumatic things to occur to them. So on this day, Taraja was set out to go to the flea market and she was going to be going with a family friend. And they were going to be in that family friend's vehicle, which was a gray Mazda Tribute. They end up leaving around 9 to 9:30 on June 26th of 2010 to go to the Selma flea market. Now, like I stated, she ended up leaving with the friend in the friend's truck. But ironically, the family friend ended up returning home around 1 p.m. that same day and said that she decided not to go to the flea market and she let Taraja hold her vehicle. Now, Regina, she knew something was off because when she did not hear from her daughter around 11 a.m. that same day, she immediately began calling anyone that she could looking for her daughter. And a cousin would end up telling Regina that they did see the truck that Taraja was driving that morning on Cecil Jackson bypass, which end up developing a revelation because the truck was sitting on the side of the road abandoned, not far from this actual flea market. Now, it's very unclear if Taraja actually went to the flea market, but they didn't really, from what I have researched, they really didn't have proof if she actually went or not. When they end up going to look at the vehicle, they end up noticing that stuff was thrown out on the side of the vehicle and it was searched, but they never found Taraja. and it looked like a person was just looking for something. And it stated that the door handle was actually broken as well, along with two windows on the driver's side being broken. Very strange, but sadly, no information turned up regarding the vehicle being found. Many local residents, as well as the police department, searched through the city on multiple occasions. They even chased down leads about possible human remains being buried behind a property. But in the end, their search efforts were found nothing, nothing to even put Taraja at the place or whatever. And it has been stated that Regina has continued to place Taraja's case in the spotlight as much as she can, but it's clear that she does need more help because y'all know I say it all the time. There are so many cases that I have never heard about. And although Taraja disappeared in 2010, we're almost around the same age. I'm 2 years older than her. I still never heard of her case. Even being a teenager, I still never heard of Taraja's disappearance. And you know what's even crazier? I have never been to Selma, Alabama, but my sister has for work trips, and she always has told me how creepy driving through that particular city has been. Like I said, I've never been, so I don't know firsthand, but I've heard many things about Selma, Alabama, and how it's racist. I'm not 100%. Like I said, I'm just saying what others have told me from their particular experience, and it makes you raise an eyebrow when I thought of the particular city. Like, you know, did someone want to cause her harm because of who she is, being a black woman? Or was there something, because of her father passing away? There's a lot of questions that started to enter my mind as I began to read her case. And the sad part is there's not a lot of information to go off of regarding her disappearance. But y'all know I try to share whatever I find, and it's truly sad that there has not been any new information to turn up in over 13 years regarding Tarasha Benjamin. Now, if you have any information about this case, you're urged to contact the Selma Police Department at 334-874-2134 or their local authorities. The agency case number is 10-062-7002. It is so important that we continue to share these stories and get the word out because y'all, everybody deserves to know what has happened to their loved ones, regardless of how long it has been. Until the next episode, guys, I won't see you because I'm not on video, but I'm wishing you all love and light and prayers to Tarasha Benjamin's family because 13 years, I could not imagine. Hopefully, new information turns up and they get the answers that they seek. As always, guys, I'll see